Happy Tuesday, everybody. It's Dave Juno, the Meniere's Disease Warrior. If you like what you see, please hit subscribe. I'm over 300 now. I thank to all the people who have subscribed to me. I appreciate it. I don't make money from this, but it is nice to know that there are over 300 people that are following me now. So it's very good. And remember, you're not alone. So let's talk about something that has been a subject for the last few days with me and a few other people. SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance. Now, one of the first things you want to do when you've been diagnosed as Meniere's disease is make a journal, okay? And you can make it any way you want. I have no specific way. Because my way isn't necessarily better than someone else's. Just get a journal, write down your date of the attack, how long it lasted, the symptoms that you had, stuff like that. Okay, and this is going to help you in the long run. So, when you're first diagnosed, make a journal, okay? Trust me, when I get on a little further, you're going to understand why. Make sure your doctors are lined up with what you want to do. Because if your doctor thinks that you can work, he's not gonna make it very favorable for you to get it. So before you even apply, tell your doctors, okay? Hey, I really can't work anymore. I'm gonna apply for Social Security Disability. I'm just letting you know because some forms are gonna come in, and most doctors will say, okay, no problem, I'll help you out. My doctor did. My doctor actually told me to in a way, and I said, well, I already have. And he was like, okay, well, I'll help you any way I can. So you want to be on board with your doctors, all your doctors, not just your ENT, your primary care, other physicians that you see, even if it's not for Meniere's disease, because it helps. Second, or third, you want to get a company, you want to apply then. Okay, you want to apply then. So there's a couple of ways of doing it, more than a couple. You can go to the Social Security office and apply. You can apply online. SSA.gov, I believe, is the website. You can go with a company called ALSUP. You can download the forms and do snail mail if you want to. But there's a company called ALSUP, and there's another one. There's a few of them. There's another one, Health something. I forget what the name of it is. But you want to look into all that. My suggestion is my advice is to go with a company called ALSUP or a different brand. But ALSUP will hold your hand through the whole process. They will help you apply online. They will help you start all this stuff. They will, if you don't get it, you will appeal. You will get an appeal. And they will appeal for you. Then they will get a lawyer for a hearing. They will get you the lawyer. You don't need to get it. But if you don't want to do that, you get a lawyer before you apply, because these guys know what they're doing. A lot of these guys, this is what they do. This is exactly what they do. Get disability for people. So you want to work with these people. You want to get a lawyer or have some sort of company that will help you. Okay, so then you answer all these questions and everything. And it's a good thing to remember what these answers are, and I'm going to explain to you in a minute why. Because what's going to happen next once you fill out the paperwork and form it in, Social Security is going to send you a letter saying you're going to get a phone call for a phone interview. Now, the phone interview really, from what I remember, was not something to get really worked up about. Because what they're basically trying to do is match what you're saying on the form to what you're telling them. They're basically looking to see if there's any discrepancies or you're lying. And the reason for that is because a lot of people do. Believe it or not. Not just about Meniere's, but a lot of people think, well, they deny you the first time for Meniere's. They deny you the first time for almost anything, because there's so many people out there trying to fraud, make money from the government. And it's true. I don't care what you say or what your politics are. It's been like that for years. In the last 20 years, since the elevation of them networks and everything, it's become even worse. But it's they're more skeptical now. So you're going to get an interview with that, for that, just to, calm, whatever. And they're going to go over your doctor's notes. In the journal is where it comes in. Because like on ALSUP, like if you're mailing it in or emailing it in, you can scan your documents onto a PDF file and send it with it. ALSUP you can do that with. You can scan this and add it to it. Because it gives them a thing of how you deal with it daily and what happens, when you have an attack and stuff. And it's going to help you tremendously. But the first time you're probably going to get denied. Okay, some cases you don't. And in some other cases, before they make a final approval, they'll want you to talk to a psychiatrist. Now, there's nothing wrong to see about talking to a psychiatrist. They just kind of want to make sure that you're stable enough to handle money and this and that and the other thing, or there's some undiagnosed problem with you. So don't take offense to it. They do it to pretty much everybody. They did it to me. And it's just part of the thing. And they might have you see like one of their ENTs to see if you actually can't work. And don't get offended by that, because that's the way it is. Things are the way they are for a reason. And a lot of it is fraud. You can blame people, for all these people who complain about Social Security being, sucks and all this stuff, or the government sucks. Blame the people who are trying to defraud the country. That's the reason why. So you'll get denied, most likely, but there are a few cases that you won't. Then you go into your appeal, and someone else looks at it. Now, when you get to the appeal level, it's the same thing, but you have a better chance. Every time you get to an appeal, you have a better chance of getting it. And it's the same thing. But after the first denial, if you're not with a company like ALSUP, that's when you want to get a lawyer. You definitely want to contact a lawyer at that point to help you with it. Okay? And like I said, this journal is going to help you tremendously. My lawyer thought it was the greatest thing in the world. And I'll get to another talk about this in a minute. So you want to get that lawyer. Okay? Now, you're going to go through the same things. You probably won't have the interview with the psychiatrist or the doctor or something like that. But you get denied again. Let's say you get denied again. Now you got to go for a hearing. Nowadays, because of COVID, it's a Zoom meeting or a telephone call. And I had it. And in between that, I had sent my lawyer my journal. And so we went to the hearing. And when you get to the hearing part, okay, one, let the lawyers talk. Do not interrupt them. Okay? Don't interrupt the lawyer and the judge. Let them speak. Control your temper. Control your anger, because it's not going to help you. As a matter of fact, it's going to make things worse for you. So let the lawyers talk, the judges talk. When the judge does talk to you, you say, yes, sir, or yes, ma'am, or yes, your honor, no, your honor. And, if you're somebody who doesn't like using titles like ma'am or sir, just say your honor. Showing respect goes a long way. And say it in a nice tone. Don't go, yes, your honor, or no, your honor. Just go, yes, your honor, no, your honor. That's it. Okay? And just let the process go. Don't get nervous. And basically what the lawyer's trying to do is the judge is trying to do is the same thing the first interview did. They want to make sure that you're not lying. Okay? And again, blame the people who are trying to defraud the country by using Social Security disability insurance. Believe me, it happens. And so at that point, the judge makes a decision. It's supposed to take 2 months. Mine took 3 days. Okay. In 4 days, I had this large amount of money deposited in my checking account. And I was like, what the hell is this? I called my lawyer. He's like, you won, obviously. And then the next day I got a letter saying that I was approved. Here's your back pay, blah, 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 blah. The lawyer got his stuff from Allsup, not from me, so all my money was mine. That was another thing. But unless you have like a long-term disability with your company that you're with, you're going to have to pay back that long-term disability, believe it or not, because I had to. It was about 25 G's I had to pay back. So if it's disability insurance through your company, you're probably going to have to pay that money back. The lawyer, if you just go with a lawyer, not with something like a long-term disability first, the lawyer's going to take a percentage. And it's not, it's not going to be like 30%. It's going to be, 5%, 6%. It probably maybe up to 10. And to be honest with you, it's worth it because they know what they're doing. And the one thing that this whole thing I learned the most about is the journal is what really helped me with the judge. And after my hearing, this doesn't normally happen. After my hearing, the judge said, okay, the hearing is over. I would like to speak to Mr. Juneau alone. So could you all please hang up? And everyone went, yes, Your Honor, yes, Your Honor, yes, Your Honor, yes, Your Honor. So, Mr. Juneau, are you on the line? And I said, yes, Your Honor. And first thing she said was, the hearing's over. You can call me. I think her name was Sheila. You can call me Sheila. And I'm like, oh, okay, Sheila. What is it that you want to talk to me about? And she said, I was very impressed with you. I've done a ton of these hearings. And I was very impressed. And I said, well, I just said yes, yes, Your Honor, no, Your Honor. And she went, no, that journal is what helped you. And she goes, if more people did that, it would be better off. They'd be better off. It does help. So she goes, you're probably going to get it. It just has to go, I'm approving it and it has to go through one more thing. And usually when I approve it, the other person approves it. So you're probably going to get it. And I said, oh, thank you, Your Honor. And she said, no. I said, thank you, Sheila. And she goes, you're welcome. If you do what you said you do with the forums, support groups and things like that, tell the people. So that's why I keep saying journal. And it also helps you doctors too. So that is what happened. And my lawyer called me right afterwards and said, oh my God, what did the lawyer want? What did the judge want? And I said, well, Sheila. And he went, who? I said, Sheila. You called her Sheila? And she went, yeah, she told me to. And he goes, oh, okay, what happened? I said, she wanted to commend me on the way I acted and the journal. She really liked the journal. He even told me, because I'm calling all my clients at this point who are going up for hearing to make a journal, because that is the best thing that's going. And if more people did that, you'd have a better chance. Doesn't mean you're going to get it. It just means you're going to get a better chance. Okay? Now, for the people who are over in England or in other countries, it's different for you. I understand this. Okay? I'm talking about people here in the United States, in United States territories. Okay? I'm not talking about people in Canada, England, Germany, or wherever, China, Japan, Australia. It's totally different. I understand it. But the principle should be the same. If they see a journal of what you're doing, regardless, it's going to show them, it's going to help you. But I do understand, because that was another debate that I had a couple of months ago, and I actually ended up doing something I don't normally do, and was leaving the conversation because there was just no way of getting through this guy that I'm talking about the United States, and he just kept talking about wherever he was from. And I just, sorry, I gotta go. And I left. But yeah, I'm talking about the United States. I don't know about England. I don't know about the rest of the world. I don't. So I'd rather be honest and say, I don't know, than look it up. The one thing, a tool that I use, and it's, believe it or not, my YouTube. I use YouTube a lot when I have questions. So if you're in England or in Canada or, Brazil or somewhere else in the world, and you want to know how to get on something on disability programs that they have, YouTube Just type in YouTube, disability, how to get disability in England, how to get disability in Australia. And somebody's going to have a video. Okay? Believe me, you wouldn't believe some of the things I've learned through YouTube, which is nice. So on that note, I hope you guys all have a great day. I really just, it was just another person inspired me to make this video, and I think it was a person I had, another woman I had a wonderful conversation with yesterday about SSDI, and hey, we're all here to help each other, okay? And that's what I do. I can't work. Sitting at home with 2 dogs for the most part. The only driving I do is go to the store or go to pick up a prescription, or maybe you have to go to the high school, couple mile here, mile there, 2, 3. I think the longest I do is maybe 4 miles, 5 miles. So this keeps me active, keeps me busy, keeps the old brain box going. So on that note, have a great day, everybody. And like I said before, if you like what you see, please hit subscribe. I thank you very much. Bye.